Good morning. Happy Tuesday. How are you today, Miss Sochi?
Pretty good. How are you doing, Deb?
Doing good. So,
Awesome.
welcome. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to our Industry Live. We love to bring valuable information to our amazing audience, all things multifamily. We love to share, we love to bring different people on and talk about different topics. So if you like what we're doing and you have something to say, we want to hear from you. If you want to be on, you can contact us. We put our email on here, beonindustrylive@gmail.com, and tell us, if you're watching today, tell us you're watching. Engage with us, leave comments, and we want to hear from you. So, without further ado, I've got my lovely sidekick today, Miss Sochi Flores. Hi.
Hello.
And today our topic is going to be, what does mental health mean to you? As we all know, we've all been through it the past few years, and a lot of us continue to go through it. So this is a topic that I feel like no one really talks about, and we can keep it high level. We don't have to get into too many nitty-gritty details, but I think it's an important conversation to have. I think you agree, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just like you said, not a lot of people talk about it. I don't think they want to talk about it, but I
Right.
think it's really important.
And I think too, our industry has been really hard the past few years. I'm sure every industry can say that, but when we live and breathe in the world of housing people,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
and we work in the business of people in their homes and their families. And I mean, I can't, on site years ago, I mean, it could be a real challenge, but I can't imagine really going through it and, what it must be like even today to deal with, as many people as, our on-site teams have to deal with, that I don't even have to deal with nearly as many people, I think, sometimes as, a lot of people in our industry, but it's still a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess I'm curious to know, like, what kind of things are out there for folks. Like, I don't know if you've heard of, like, what kind of resources companies provide these days. I think it's kind of like a new wave of things coming around, with companies starting to step up and provide, things for their employees. So I don't know if what you guys have. I don't know if you want to share, with your company and what their initiatives are.
Yeah, I'm curious to know if they are providing anything out there um, for their employees. I think especially after COVID,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's kind of where the change happened. I know with my previous employer, yeah, they definitely started providing that even with the temporary staff that we had. We started
Mm-hmm.
providing that for them. We gave them a number where they can call. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm super curious to know if anyone has set anything in place um, out there for your companies,
Right.
which is
Well,
great.
and good morning, Miss Cece. Thanks for watching from Nashville. We enjoy your comments, so please share. And then we also have Miss Caroline Ferguson watching. And then Miss
Watching
Kimberly.
Houston, woo!
Yep. And then Miss Kimberly's watching. She's traveling today. That's why she's not joining us. But, if you're watching, chime in. Let us know if you guys have any, stories out there about, resources or things that your company might be bringing to the table that's outside of the box that you think is really helpful. I think that it's a good time to talk about this and put these things out there. I don't think there's enough out there for folks.
Yeah,
Right.
I know for a fact there might be companies out there, they don't know how to approach that yet. So if that's something that maybe your company is doing, feel free to share. And sharing is caring. So
Right. Exactly.
we'll look into it. But yeah, I think it's super important.
Yeah, I know for me, it's, in myself, there are certain things that I know that I need to do to maintain or keep up, and these are all the things that, I think we will put off because we just get busy and we usually end up putting ourselves on the back burner. And I think it's important for us not to do that. So for me, being active is really, really important for me in my mind. And I did, because of a lot of things going on in my life, I stopped running. And that was really, really good for me. And it really was good for my mind. And so that's something in the last couple of weeks that I've really put back down on paper, that I'm going to start this training all over again, and I'm going to do it. Because it makes me feel good, along with, the yoga. Like, I do really love my yoga, but like, why don't I go anymore? Like, why did I think when everything shut down during COVID, I shut down, and then when we opened back up, there were these things that I just didn't jump back into, and I have no idea why. So for me, it's important for me to put some of these things back on the map.
Right.
And
Yeah,
make
I
my
was gonna
health priority.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, why not? Why? What
Mhm.
is stopping you? Maybe the thought of just thinking, "Oh, I gotta start," is
Mhm.
what's stopping you. But
Yes.
yeah, no, I definitely agree. One of the biggest things that I do, just like you mentioned, keep yourself busy and find something that makes you happy, or something for yourself that might distract you from it. So you mentioned running. That's something that I've been doing since April. And it helps me, jogging, listening to music or podcasts. And I feel, once, I do that jog or that 2 mile jog and I'm done, it feels good. It feels like you've accomplished something. It feels, for me, I'm like, okay, at least I can't say I was lazy today. It kind of like, it's almost like a refresher in my mind, with the music and stuff, or with the
Yeah.
podcast. My mind's away. It erases everything, and it's like a start over button. And it also relaxes my body to the point where I know I'm going to be able to get good sleep and go to bed early versus being up all night thinking about,
Right.
whatever.
I know. Yeah, exactly. And it's so crazy how I had gotten myself into such a good place with it, to where I craved it and I
Yeah,
didn't want to go a day without it,
same.
to like having to push myself just to get started again. And I'm like, it disappoints me, but I know I can do it. I just have to
You
like
can do it.
push it
I know
through.
you can
I'm
do
gonna
it.
get that drive back too. But I think a lot of people don't talk about therapy. People are embarrassed to say that they have therapists. And I am not afraid to say that I've put my ass back in therapy recently, and I'm very excited about it. And everyone should talk more to a therapist, because it's very valuable. Like, it's awesome. So, and it shouldn't be such a shameful thing for people. I don't get that.
I will tell you that within my culture, and how I was raised, I there's no such thing as therapy, or I
Same.
didn't even know it existed. So when I hear other people talking about it and how it helps them, so if anything, you let me know, Deb, who's your therapist. I would love to talk to one. But I think in my culture, it's not frowned upon, but it's more of like, oh, you have something to cry about? I'll give you something to cry about. Or,
Yes. Suck
oh,
it
that
up.
just means, yeah. Or like, oh, that means you're bored. You just have to go
Right.
clean or
Hmm.
something. It's very like machismo, we call it. You
Yeah.
know, we don't have problems. We don't cry. We keep it in. We keep it in.
I think that's it. I think that just might be like, because how old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay, and I'm 42. So, yeah, maybe that's just, our parents. I think that's maybe kind of how they were raised. That's how they raised. I know that's how my mom raised me. It was just kind of like, suck it up. You'll be okay. It's
Yeah.
life.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and the fact that you mentioned like a therapist, they're more open, I'm assuming, to talk to you and to be understanding, versus sometimes with your family, sometimes it can happen with friends, just depends. It makes them uncomfortable to talk
Hmm.
about
Yep.
certain things, because sometimes you do keep it in. Like, I think there are a couple of topics that I would love to be more open with my parents about, but they just, they'd rather not.
I know. I
And
know.
so when it comes to my parenting skills, I want my son to tell me
Mhm.
anything, and I want to be very open minded about it, to the point where if bad or good, let me know. I'm here for it.
Right.
Let's go through it together. Let's walk it through, having that patience. And again, just learning from what maybe what my parents were able to offer me. Not to say that they were bad parents, but who
Right,
knows? I don't know how they were raised. It was
right,
probably even worse.
right, right. And even Carla says that therapy is taboo in the Latin community.
Yes, yes. See, Carla knows. Carla knows.
Mhm,
And then, bring my parents are really religious, so bringing that into it too is,
mhm.
it's like, oh, you got problems, talk to God. And I'm like, he
Yes,
doesn't talk back to me.
I know. Go pray it. Go, yeah, yeah.
Go to church.
Go to
That
church.
means you're doing bad things. Go
Mhm.
to church.
Yeah, I
So,
know. I think a lot of us were raised with the parents that were like that. I grew up like really poor. So, you know, there, and I didn't even go to the pediatrician that much. I think sometimes, like,
right.
like it was a different time and a different way that we were raised.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
um, I know Kimberly chimed in. She said watching animated movies to make her laugh, and she does love animated movies. I can attest to that. But she also listens to Jay Shetty and Mel Robbins, and she loves to break out in a random dance whenever possible. So good tips. And I do love Jay Shetty and Mel Robbins. So if you have not heard of those, please Google them and look them up because you will like it. And then Miss Cece said, one thing I love that my regional does is allow her managers to work from home when we have big deadlines coming up. She understands that being in the office already adds to the stress of work, and working from home allows them to set their own pace and get things done at their leisure. She also sets work from home days a while before the deadline so that we are not rushing and we can turn in quality work. That is
That
really
is
freaking
awesome,
awesome.
right?
Really freaking awesome. Love that.
I'm like, who do you work for?
Right?
I
right? Like that's
love that. What an
remarkable.
amazing work environment. Wish I
Hmm.
had that back in the day. But that's perfect. Yeah, you need to be focused, no distractions. Uh,
Hmm.
I just love how with CC, your regional is thinking about you guys,
Yeah.
putting herself in.
Well, I think she's thinking about their mental health,
Yep.
like
Mhm.
why, like if you like I always felt like I tried, and I probably try to take too much, but I always want to just try to take as much away of the stress and the things from my team members because I want them to be happy. I want them to want to work with me every day, so I think I would always try to take on whatever I could, so.
Just to make the situation a happy situation.
Oh, and then Cece says every day she starts her team's day with positive affirmations and uplifting them. Even when negative energy is trying to creep in our day, we make a point to reset the energy and keep spirits high.
Yes, I love.
Love that. I usually sit down in the mornings with a notebook and I do affirmations and positive thoughts. And then I'll do like my top three work tasks of the day that I want to make sure I complete, and top three personal tasks. And yeah, I'll do like doodle. I'm a doodler too. So
Oh, I would love to see your
I will
doodles.
doodle affirmations like when, I mean, I always write one when I feel like people are kind of attacking me. I'm like, be you, not them.
Oh, I love
Like I
that.
write it down, be you, not them, be you,
Yes.
not them. And that kind of becomes my mantra sometimes. So I think positive affirmations are really important and people don't do enough of those. So,
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think for me, but yeah, sometimes I know at least with my group team, we do that all the time, or we'll send, funny videos or maybe funny things that we did throughout the day just to kind of, ease that tension or anything that we might be going through. That's super important. I start off with podcasts in the morning just because I have the two little kids. Everything's already going crazy in the morning. So,
mhm.
sometimes if I'm the person, I get stuck in my head. So if I'm just listening to something else, it goes away. And then
Mhm.
that's when I can focus and I can say, okay, this is what I'm going to do today. This
Mhm.
is what I'm going to
Yeah.
accomplish today. So yeah.
Yes, love that. Love that. Um, I think too. I think there's been some really good resources that I've seen and looked up recently. Like as far as therapy, I know number one, I think the number one problem is that it's taboo for a lot of people. And number two, accessibility and affordability
Yeah.
is also another issue. But I'm seeing a lot more programs come forward, like BetterHelp,
Yeah.
online therapy. They try to make it affordable, because even I know, like with my insurance, it will only pay like for like your first 5 visits, and then
Interesting.
you're on your own. And a
Okay.
lot of insurance do that, which is crazy to me because I'm like, okay, so I guess you're supposed to be healed in 5 visits. So I was like, I hope that works out for you. They better be a really good therapist. So yeah, I think that accessibility and affordability is a huge thing, which is why I do think it's so important for companies to really make some initiative on this, this platform of what we need to, I think
Right.
it's more important now than ever. I feel like everybody that I talk to on a regular basis is going through something right now, or they
Mhm.
keep getting hit back to back with things.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's so interesting, like how busy we all are. And I remember sitting down at a table with some colleagues, and we hadn't really communicated much lately, but we all sat there and we just looked at each other and all sighed, like, and then we were all like, one person chimed in about, I am just really been struggling with this. And then someone else was like, I'm so glad you said that because I'm also. And then we all went around that table and it was like, like, why are we not talking to each other
Yeah.
more?
Yeah.
Like
That's the thing.
we need to reach out to each other more and connect more. I think a lot of us are just holding things in and trying to pretend.
I see it more as in like maybe I don't want to bother them.
Hmm.
I guess I'm so hard on myself where I'm just like, they don't want to hear my problems, or not
Yeah.
even my problems, but I'm just like, I don't want to ruin the mood.
Mhm. I
This
get
is
that,
such a uppity mood. I was like, I don't want to ruin it. But I think it's important. It depends also, the people that you surround yourself with, because
Mhm.
just like you said, there has been times where sometimes they'll notice. I have people that will notice, but they truly care. At least, I just did a post on Facebook giving a shout out to my Zumper team, my Texas Zumper team, and I love how we all check in on each other,
That's awesome.
personal, work related, just everything. And if we need support at work, or
Mhm.
speaking with somebody, or just in general, talking about what's going on in our life, I just love it. It's just wonderful. It's beautiful. So again, it's just who you surround yourself with. And believe it or not, there are people out there that do care. But if there isn't someone out there, or if you don't want to bother somebody, just like you said, I think it's awesome that there's more programs coming
Mhm.
out, or, perhaps your job or your employer does have, programs that they can offer.
I want to challenge. Well, actually, we should challenge ourselves. Let's reach out to
Yeah.
more companies and let's find out what folks are doing and
Yeah.
who's creative and bring it back. Maybe we can encourage more companies to take on this initiative. I love what Carla just said, and she works for Portico, but and she works for a great company, but Miss Carla's husband's company gives their employees 18 free therapy sessions and that they definitely take advantage of each year. That is
That
awesome.
is awesome. Yeah,
That is
that's
so awesome.
absolutely awesome.
And it's hard to find a match too, for some folks. And sometimes you might spend your 5 free visits just trying to find, the right person that you connect with too. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I think, yeah, talking about it, I think, employees coming up with creative resources to offer. I think that that's just where it's at right now in order to maintain in your employees and to have them in the right state of mind these days. This is
Mhm.
definitely something that everyone needs to pay attention to.
Yep, I agree.
I also there's I know I have there's an app called Calm that you can
Okay.
download. I like that because it has things for sleep, to help you manage your stress and anxiety through the day, or even teach you how to meditate.
I love that.
Yeah, so
I'm
that's like
like,
a
I need to
really,
download it.
yes, definitely download that. So I love that, and I've had that on my phone for a long time. But yeah, like I think we just need to talk about it more and stop making this so taboo. And
Let's yeah, let's talk about it. It's okay, to talk about it. Well, I mean, at least for me, anyone feel free to reach out to me. Anyone who's out there, feel free to reach out. And let's talk about it. There needs to be a support group out there. I mean, me personally, sometimes I join Facebook groups.
Mhm.
They have different ones. Sometimes it could be, mental health for moms, mental health for, anything.
Mhm.
So I know groups
Yeah.
help me sometimes. Sometimes there's TikToks where there's therapists
Mhm.
on there that give you different exercises that you can try. So I definitely follow those. I'm like, follow, follow, follow.
Yeah.
Because they make them funny too, and they make them fun, and they give you these exercises. And then I love that there's people in the comments that relate to it. And I think that's the other thing too. It's, not being alone and having that keeping
Mhm.
your sanity. Like, okay, I'm not crazy. It's not just me.
No, and that's the thing. Like it's not just you, it's not just me. Like let's take the shame out of it. We need to talk about it more. We need to come up, I mean, I look at some of these stories and some of these apartment groups that we're in on Facebook, and
Mhm.
I'm just like the things that we deal with. I just read a story last night that blew my mind. There was a person that leased to someone who the background check wasn't coming back.
Mhm.
Things were off, like the social, but he didn't feel like that she was lying or anything. She was like a young college graduate moving back to her hometown.
Mhm.
Well, come to find out, she had been kidnapped by her father as a child, and he put the pieces together. And when she came to sign her lease, the police and the mother were there, and they found her after all of these years that she had been kidnapped by her father. And a leasing professional is the one that uncovered this entire story. So I think that that warrants a little bit of therapy to talk about that, because that's a huge, huge thing. So again, I think more resources in our industry are super important. And I know my little Sochi is back there coughing up a little storm. I feel bad. She's been getting over a little cold, a little summer cold. But yeah, there's so much out there available online. Like you can Google and pull up many, many resources. Um, but yeah, I think that it would be fun for us to, pull get some ideas from some different companies in our industry and share those with, our industry. So, um, it looks like we are about to be out of time, anyways, for today. So we can go ahead and start to wrap up. You okay over there, Soch?
I think that story got to me.
Well, it was a big one. I mean, hello, this leasing professional found a missing person after 17 years or something crazy,
That's so scary. That's
Yeah.
horrible.
I mean, the whole story was remarkable. So I'll have to pull that back up, but I mean, it's pretty amazing. But yeah, that I think that's going to warrant for somebody to, I hope that whoever that company is that that person works for really does try to pull some resources in for that person. That's a big, huge find. So yeah, but we are out of time for today. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. Just remember that we were streaming live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So wherever you're watching from, if you could just, let us know in the comments, reach out to us. Oh, we had another comment from Miss Christy Rodriguez. She said, great program, ladies. Thank you for being so transparent and sharing on this very important topic. Bravo. Thank you, Christy, for joining in.
Thank
And
you.
we want to talk more about this. But yes, please, reach out to us if you want to be on the show, or you have a story, or you have something that you want to talk about. We want to bring it out for all of our multifamily family and talk about it and educate.
Yeah, I think we should have another one of these.
We definitely should.
We didn't talk about it too much. And then my cough attack kind of
Oh, well, that's
went
okay.
in between there.
That's okay. But yes, so if you want to be on and you want to share some stories and you want to talk, you can email us at beonindustrylive@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. And, but yeah, so follow us and come back next Tuesday and let's see what we've got to talk about with you guys then. Again, it's Deb and Miss Sochi over there. And we thank you so much for watching today. So have a good rest of the week and stay positive and reach out to us.
Yes. Thank you for joining, guys.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.